Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I had a special request from Angelique to make some rings where you can dangle some charms. I previously made a video with a little peace sign that was dangling, and I have another video for ring with some dangling beads. So today we're going to do another design. What you're going to need for the project is 18 gauge wire for the band. I'm going to use 20 gauge wire to dangle the beads, or you can use head pins. I have a ring cone, my tools, and I have some beads, or you can use charms. So for the first one, I'm going to take about a 12 to 15 inch piece of the 18 gauge wire and my round pliers, and what I'm going to do is just do a little circle here, and that's where you're going to hang your charm. If you want to hang a couple of charms, make the circle a little bigger. If you're just doing one, it doesn't have to be that big. So start your kind of curve what's going to be your ring just with your finger like that, and then you're going to take your ring cone and then place it at the size that you want, and you're going to wrap it around once above and once below, just to make it sort of more centered. So there you have, kind of like that. So like once above and once below, and then wherever you want to like bend it, so just like imagine like this is going to be the right size. You can try it on, you know, if you want. And then to finish it off the back, you have a couple of choices. You can just like clip and turn, or we can wind it around. So I'll show you both techniques. If you're going to just clip and turn, I actually had a request for a simple ring. So you can also do a simple ring like this with no loop. And then basically you want to do a couple of little loops at the back, just because you don't want a raw end of the wire. And so basically what I would do is I would just do like, just start it like that. And if you want this loop not to be very big, just hold it and like pull it tighter. I do this when I do my lettering. I have a little loop that I do with my M's and my N's, and this little loop is actually smaller than the end of the pliers, so you just pull it tight to make it smaller, and then you cut it, and then from there you're just going to take your flat pliers and close it up. And I cut it even like shorter than I had predicted, so then you're just going to like push it down so it's flush. So there's barely any wire there at all. It's very discreet. So the same, make sure it's kind of somewhat centered from the back. So you're going to do the same here. You're going to start a circle with your round pliers, just like get it started, and then once you have that loop started, then you're going to like pull it again, just pull it smaller and clip it to where you want. I mean, don't clip it too short or you won't be able to close the circle. So just clip it off and then get your pliers, your flat pliers, and just pinch it and rotate it. If you have cut it too much, just rotate it a little bit there. And so now just make sure they're kind of like following the curve a little bit, if you have to curve it a little bit there. So now they're flush, they're not going to like poke you or anything, and you want to make sure this wire is like 18 gauge, because if it's 20 it's going to be a little fragile, but because it's 18 gauge wire and it's a fairly stiff wire, it's going to hold its shape. So there you have, and then it's still a little bit adjustable, so you can put it on, you can adjust it a little bit if you like. If you don't like this loop going down, you could put it towards the middle. You could put the loops kind of towards the center band if you like. So I don't have gold head pins, so I'm just going to use 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to just cut a little piece here, just cut the end and just turn this around. Actually, I think this is 18 gauge wire, but you can do it with 20, it's fine. So we're going to bend that around. You just don't want it to be too thin, so push that down again. If you want a more centered, just like kind of push it back a little bit to center it out a little bit, that's fine. And then you're going to choose what bead you want to put on there. So say I'm going to do like a skull, so we're just going to take the little skull bead. It's kind of cute. I actually was going to darken up the eyes with a Sharpie, but I like it like that. It's subtle. Now, because this is 18 gauge wire, I'm just going to do a loop around and not twist it, but you can definitely, like, if it's 20, if it's thinner, you could do a loop and then twist it around the top to hold it in place. But it's 18, so it's pretty stiff. So I'm just going to cut this to 3/8 to 1/2 inch, and then take my larger round pliers and then just bend it back and around, because we want to close that circle. And then we're going to loop it onto there. So we're just going to loop it right onto there, and then you can get your flat pliers to close it up. And then from there, you can always like put it back on your ring form just to see how it looks. And it's really funky. It's kind of cool. I like it like that. So that's with like a more adjustable kind. And then now I'll do another one with the silver. This is the 18 gauge wire in the silver color. So we'll do the same thing. We'll cut it like 12 to 15 inches. It really depends on how big your finger is. So cut it too big than too small is always better. Same thing, we'll do a little loop in the middle. So we're just going to take that one around and do our little loop. Depending on how many charms you want to dangle, you can make it bigger or smaller, and then just start that curve with your fingers and then get your ring cone again and bring that around. So we're just going to bring that all the way around and then around below it. It's nice, it makes a bit of a wider band, so it's going to sit nicely on your finger. So just bring those around here, and then you're going to try it on your finger, maybe this one. And then now if you want this back to be more closed, especially if you have a thinner wire, like maybe a 20 gauge wire. So we're going to take this, hold it, bring it up and through. So up and through here, right around here. And then just make sure that these don't like get bunched up on each other. If you want, you could even hold them flat. Careful not to scratch your wire. If you have nylon pliers, you can always do that too, the nylon tip pliers. We're going to bring that around, hold that, and bring it up. Okay. And then the same on this side. Just make sure these are kind of like centered how you want them. You can put it back on the ring cone here. And then this one, see, wherever it's how you like it to be, just bring that one up that way. And then we're going to bend it around here. And if you want, you can hold it with your pliers again too. So we're just going to bring that here, around here. And then, like I said, if you want to hold it with your pliers, to be sure, just bring it up here. And then now we're going to have to clip these ends. So we're going to clip them just a little below like the top of the ring. And then this one too, we're just going to clip it in here. This just gives it a little bit more of a finish. If these ends are rough, you can file them a little bit if you want, or you can just like kind of push them in a little bit here. And this one too, just push it in a little bit here. And then we're going to put it back on the ring cone just to make sure like it's nicely adjusted. And if you need to, you can like adjust this loop too if you want. And then see, this way it just holds it together a little more at the back like that. And then for that, because I have the head pins, I'm going to use one of these. And I thought it would be fun to do like a little letter bead. See, I have this little letter bead here. Unfortunately, that one has a big hole. You'd have to probably go the other route where you make your own head pin with a loop. But I have this other one with an H for Heather. Maybe I'll have to wear this ring. And we're going to stick that one in there. And we're going to put it through there. So we're just going to trim it to like 3/8 to 1/2 inch like we did before. Give it a cut. And then take your round pliers, bring this back here and around so it's almost closed. And then we're going to stick it on the loop. And then we're going to just close it up a little bit. So just bring that around and close it. And then there you have your little charm dangling on there. So now if you want to do a super simple one, I'm going to use the 18 gauge wire, but probably the 16 would be better for this, to have a little wire that's a little bit thicker. It just depends if you want like a delicate ring or not. This design is super, super easy. This is like the peace sign ring. So basically you just take the wire and bend it on an angle, like just like an inch or so from the end. Take your ring cone, bring it around, okay, to whatever size you want. And then you want to make sure this is sort of at a 45-degree angle. Bring this around and just twist it, and then you're going to clip it so it's flush. Okay, and then remove it and then push that down so that's like very flush, it's not scratchy. And then you can just bring this one across, get your round pliers and bring it down here. Okay, you don't need too much space. And then all you're going to do, as long as your wire is stiff enough and it's going to hold its shape, you're just going to clip it there and then push it in so it's like flush in there, it's not scratchy. And then from there you can get your head pin and you're going to stick this one in here and just give it a little clip, 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Take this one, bring it back. And if you have, you know, ready-made charms that you've bought anywhere or you've upcycled jewelry, this is a great project for that because you can dangle anything from these rings. If you want to just do round beads, if you want to do a bunch of round beads, you can. So see, that's like super, like the simplest you can go is just like super simple. It's kind of cute, it's very delicate, and you could use a thicker wire if you want. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share pictures of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my wire work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to hop on the mailing list, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.